friends, welcome to our new plants for 2027. We are excited this year because we're hoping there's multiple different tools for you to use during your ordering process. We're hoping that this video of the new plants, along with our website and our new online ordering, which our pre-orders this year are exclusively online, that will all help you in the ordering process. And, our online ordering system is going to have little thumbnail images of each plant, but also you may want to have our website up also on a different screen or a different tab to reference more information for each plant there too. And then we also have our charts on the website for edibles, peppers, tomatoes, herbs, dye plants, a few other things. And then the filtering on our website is also really helpful too. So if, let's say, you were looking for like a white perennial, a white blooming perennial, under the plant search, you could search for such a thing. So just a reminder that all those fun tools exist, and if there's anything else that we can help provide at any time that makes it easier or more accessible for you, just let us know. So we also have some new faces this year that are joining us. We have a new annual grower buyer, and we have a new herb buyer too. So that's exciting. You'll get to hear from them in a little bit about the new plants from those categories. And we also are doing timestamps again, and then the captions for this video too. So you'll see in the description of the video the timestamps for each category. So if you did want to skip ahead to edibles, you could go ahead and do that. Okay, let's get started. All right. So first off are the specialty annuals, and these, along with the next two categories, specialty foliage and annual grass, those are all sold in by the flat, and they're in 4-inch round pots, and there are 10 pots per flat. So joining us today is Elena, and she's a new face for us this year, and she has been working hard on ordering all of our cutting grown items and our plugs for baskets and planning, and we are so happy to have her and her expertise. So hello, Elena.
Hi.
All right, so first off is a Abutilon Sun Tense, and this is a hybrid. So it is one of those Abutylons that has those narrow fuzzy leaves for those of you that love those. And they have really unusual purple lavender colored flowers, so unusual for plants in general. And they're huge. These are like 2 to 3 inch flowers. They bloom in the spring. It is kind of, shrubby like, so you could use it to standardize, or just have it as a filler in a combo. And of course, this is when it's blooming in the spring, customers are going to see this and grab it because those flowers are so much fun.
Our next new addition to our catalog is the Bacopa Scopia Double Snowball. This will flower in spring and through summer, and as we all know, Bacopa is a fantastic spiller for your baskets and your containers. And the reason that we're excited about this particular variety are those double blooms. So this is going to add fantastic, like cottony, fluffy texture to all of your combinations. And I think that alone is a great selling point for your customers.
Yeah, and this one's going to fill in really nicely too. It's not going to be scraggly. It's going to be nice and dense. All right, so up next is Begonia Iconia Portofino Citrix Yellow. So this is replacing, I believe, Sunset, Iconia Sunset. And it is very similar. So it does have those really yummy sunset tequila sunrise type colors, and it contrasts really nicely with that dark foliage. And these guys are very resistant. This is such a wonderful series, resistant to all kinds of weather, tolerant of all kinds of different sun exposures, self-cleaning, great for all kinds of uses.
I love Bidens, and
I love Bidens.
I love them, and we're so excited to add Blazing Flames to our catalog. Like we've got these really intriguing, almost like little bullseye bicolor blooms that just really catch the eye. And I love Bidens so much because they're beautiful, but then they also just fill in whatever space you put them in, and they're so polite with the other plants that they interact with. Like they don't take over, they just mingle and fill in, and they just bloom incredibly all summer long. You barely have to touch them. They're incredible.
Mm-hmm.
I love Bidens.
They're great. Next up, Brookthanthia Sombrero Orange. We had trialed the yellow one in 2026 in the spring, and it was remarkable.
It was incredible.
They are big. They're really big, impressively large flowers, and it did really well as it grew well. No complaints whatsoever. It was very happy to grow here. So I think it'll be very happy to grow for customers as well. Easy.
Yes. And once again, this is something that will bloom through the summer and a great seller for customers that are also a little crafty because you can harvest these blooms and let them dry even more. And they are perfect for like wreath making. You can do little like dry flower displays. They're just possibilities are endless.
I could see this color being great in a fall Thanksgiving wreath.
Yes.
Yeah. So
Or
nice.
you could make a garland.
Indeed. Next up, we have Calabricoa Cali Orange Sunrise. And the nice thing about the Cali series is that they are tolerant to those pH differences in soil. They have extra strong root systems. Like a lot of the Calis, they are self-cleaning. They flower early. They're going to keep flowering. And this one has a nice trailing cascading, super vibrant color. Very nice orange.
When we saw photos of it in trial gardens, there was an audible gasp in the room because it's not just like straight orange, it's dimensional, and as a whole, it's like the entire plant is glowing.
Nice.
Like my note for it was all caps, orange.
That's great.
Up next is another one from the Cali series, Strawberry Eclipse. In our 2026 growing season, we used this as a substitute for cruise control giant rose. And we really loved the tonal dimensions of the darker maroon with the pink outer. So we were just excited to bring this as an option for our customers.
And then next we have Calabricoa Mini Famous Evo Double Yellow. Super cute double and nice bright flowers. We had Neo Double Deep Yellow last year, and we felt that it was a little too compact. Those Neos are they're cute, but they are a little bit on the too tidy side. This one's going to be a little more robust, still compact because we enjoy Calabricoas that are well behaved. And so this is our yellow offering for Calabricoas.
the next Calibrachoa that we're adding to our catalog is Ombre Pink. This is another super dimensional option that we're adding where the flowers will change color as they mature. So it's always giving you something a little different. The habit is semi-trailing, so it's gonna kind of mix in with whoever's around it, adding even more dimension. We're really excited to see what this one does.
Indeed. Calabricoa Unique Sangria Fizz. This one's going to be large and showy, so it's going to be one of the larger flowers. And it has a nice uniform habit, weather resistant, so these are going to shake off the water after a shower better than others. And Unique, the series itself, says it all. That's what it's known for, is unique colors.
Ooh, the Purple Passion Kufia that we're bringing in is a really exciting addition. We're giving you those classic bat-faced flowers, and this one has a very upright habit, but it will kind of lean in with its neighbors and intermingle. It gets cozy, giving your customers kind of like an intentionally wild look.
Mm-hmm. I'm excited to see this one in mass.
Yeah.
Next up is Dahlia Hypnotica Icarus, and you know Icarus, he's been around for a while. This one has large flowers, and it does replace Sunfire, which was a taller dinner plate type. This one is going to keep those large dinner plate type flowers, but on a shorter, nicely compact plant, so it could be used in combinations. And it'll work well as a standalone too.
Oh my God, Summer Bee's Salmon Bicolor. This one we're so excited for. The big, bright, happy bicolor bloom looks, in a good way, almost cartoony.
Mm-hmm.
And they're just so vibrant. They're catching your eye. They're gonna be a fantastic complement to your customers' gardens. People are gonna be like, what are those?
Yeah. Not only are they eye-catching too, but like because I've been if you are more concerned about having annuals that are attractive and attracted by pollinators, this is one because it has that easy access open face. It's just a single petal. The pollen is right there in the center.
Incredible.
Yeah.
Oh, Big Kiss White Flame. We snuck this gazania in with our summer crop this year, and we were just so impressed with the look of it. Those cool maroon stripes throughout the white petals are just so striking, and it was continuously blooming. It has this really nice, shiny, dark green foliage, so the flowers just pop against it. So we had to add it to the catalog.
Mm-hmm. Geranium, Glory Days, red, orange bicolor. Amazing heat and drought tolerant on this one. This is an upright mounding, so it is more it is more upright. But by that photo, it's going to give you the option of using it in combinations or baskets and things like that. It does have that fun star pattern on it, which is becoming more and more available, and it's so attractive. All right, Geranium Mini Cascade Pink. These we are using in hanging baskets, and we feel like they're really cool, and they need to be offered in 4-inch as well. And this is, you can see, this is on Suzanne and Babette's deck. Beautiful combination. It fills in. It's going to be covered in blossoms, and I would imagine hummingbirds are going to come to this as well. And, you know, how can you not love pink?
Up next is the Geranium Mojo White Splash. We did a custom crop of this for one of our customers in the 2026 season, and we were so impressed by these bicolor blooms. That hot pink on white is so eye-catching, and the flowers are big. They just stand out. This one has a little bit more of an upright habit than the last one, and it's just beautiful. There's nothing else to say.
Yeah. All right. Impatience Solarscape Salmon Punch. So note that this is different from what we've done last year. We did that XL Glow salmon. This is different, where it's going to be like a more solid color salmon, but still very glowy. It's not going to do like an ombre effect, but it's still that nice saturated salmon. So it's going to be work well in sun or in part shade. It has long-lasting, fade-proof color, and these are great in landscape use. Nice dark green foliage. We wish we could get that salmon glow, but it's just not being made anymore.
Yeah. I think this is a good replacement.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So Isotoma, Bottle Rocket Blue and Pink. These, So these are replacing the isotomas that we had been offering up until this point, and their names I can't think of off the top of my head. So I'm looking at the plant
Fizz and
list.
Top.
Fizz and Pop. Okay. So up next we have Isotoma, Bottle Rocket Blue and Pink. We are adding these to our catalog as a replacement for the Fizz and Pop series. We just weren't able to get them. But with these, you are still getting that nice, clean blue and pink. So we're still getting a lot of flowers, the color you're looking for. They're versatile in sun and shade. It's a perfect replacement.
Mm-hmm. Very similar. Oh my gosh, I feel like you should talk about this one.
So James Britannia, Jam and Pink Passion. When we were in our meetings about what to add to the new catalog, I just said, it's cute. It's so cute. We have to add it. So it's got these beautiful kind of ombre effect, pink and yellow blooms that are just so cute.
Adorable.
And then the classic James Britannia habit, semi-trailing.
Next, we have Lantana Mega Hot Blooded Red. And this is a replacement for the regular Hot Blooded Red. It's 25% larger, so really great for landscape use. And it is sterile, so no concerns about it spreading.
All right. The Bellissimo is one that we trialed in our 2026 spring crop, and we just really loved the dark, dense green in comparison to Kent Beauty, which we've had on offer. You still get those beautiful pink blooms, and we're just really excited to offer that up. We loved our trial, and we hope that your customers love this
Mm-hmm.
on
Such
your
a fun
shelves.
plant.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Oh my
right?
God.
Osteospermum Gelato Pallata Passion. My gosh. So it does kind of have the spider petal effect, but they're broad in a way that it gives a really fun visual texture. And like most osteos that are being bred now, they do have really good heat tolerance, and of course they're cold tolerant. They bloom early, so we could ship them early, and it's a great compact plant. Yeah, so it's
This
gonna
is
hold
so
up.
cool.
Yeah.
It's so cool. Just look at it.
Mm. It's
Oh my
very
gosh.
tie-dye feeling.
Mhm. All right. Up next, we have Petunia Capella Inked. We just really love the dark eye in the center of these blooms and a great option for the goth gardener, I say. They're
Hmm.
kind of moody, deep purple inside, and this has a nice mounding habit. So it's not gonna like, you know, go places. It's gonna go places.
Yeah. And it not only is it kind of moody on the inside, but it does have like an also like a light. Like you wouldn't think it would have a light effect, but it does. And it's satisfying. It's satisfying.
Also a
It's
great
not,
option for a moon garden, right?
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
And if you were to compare, like, just wait. If you're gonna want to combine it with our black that's coming up. So just wait.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So this is Petunia Crazy Tunia High Five, and the series is known for large plants, large flowers that are unusually patterned, and this one has a really fun, sharp star shape to it, so that's unique about it. And it has that really nice dark burgundy mm, with that picketed edge. Very, very outstanding.
Yeah. This is another one that we looked at it and we're like, it's so cool. We have to
Mm-hmm.
add it.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh. So the Flower Shower Goldeneye Purple, it's not new, a new variety, but it is just a really nice, striking plummy color with those gold centers.
Mm-hmm.
We love the Flower Shower series. They just keep going.
Mm-hmm.
They just keep flowering and are so dense and beautiful. And like I said, I love this deep plum color.
Yeah, it almost reminds me of like something more tropical, like a mandevilla, that rich color.
Mhm.
So it was, we missed it, so we're bringing it back. And that gold center, it's really fun.
It's just excellent.
So here's what we were talking about. This is Petunia Funhouse Black Widow. So not only is it a fun kind of nutty name, um, but it'll mix in with other fun things that you want to highlight or make things other, totally do a goth container or basket. So the habit on the Funhouse, these are mounding, and it's got a nice tidy habit.
Mhm. Let's see blue. So we trialed every time there's a new color in the Itsy series, we trial it. And in 2026, we trialed Itsy blue. And lo and behold, we loved it. We love the tiny blooms, tiny dense blooms. These flower like crazy.
Mm-hmm.
And they'll trail, they'll branch, and they kind of stay shorter. And they're just so cute.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we
Yeah,
love the Itsy series.
they work in a number of applications. And as you can see here, the enlarged photo, the close up, that one's probably of like a spring flowering plant, and the one on the right is from a later growing. So you can see that they are going to fade a little bit. That's just what a blue flower does. But it is kind of a nice effect.
Keeps things interesting.
Yeah, yeah. You never know what you're going to get.
Yeah. Mm.
So newbie, this one is going to be replacing our bee's knees. And the unique thing about this flower is that it's not a solid yellow, which makes it a little more interesting. It's got depth to it. So it's going to have a bit of a star pattern within the flower and the color pattern on the flower. And then the edges are going to be a little bit faded, like a cream color. So I just think that's more interesting than a solid yellow. Sometimes you want a little more interest to it. And
Yeah.
this one will provide that.
Yeah. And this does come from the same breeding as Bee's Knees. So it is like stalwart, tried and true. We're so excited to see this one.
Mm, mm, that's great.
All right. The sweet Amy, I feel like you're the one that's so excited about this
I
one.
think I did. This one did catch my eye, and I might have been the one to bring this one up. It's Sweet Tunia Violet Vortex. I think a few of us saw it and we're like, oh yeah, that's fun. So yeah, it just looks yummy. It has like grape colors to it and cream and some green, and
Yeah.
that's just really fun to look
The
at.
flowers are like fluffy.
Yeah. Yeah. Large extra. I mean, I dig it.
Mhm. Right. The Veranda Double Nicola. This is a variety that we've used in baskets and have loved it so much that we have to offer it in 4-inch so that everyone can enjoy it, all of your customers. Large double blooms that are also bicolor, and they'll just spill out of your containers and baskets and really create this like beautiful textured wow effect.
Yeah, and these aren't going to bleach out either. They're going to stay nicely deep colored. They're not going to fade with the white and the heat.
Mhm.
No, it stays.
Yeah. Tested, tried and true.
Tried and true.
Oh,
Oh man. I You know what's fun? I don't know if this is a normal thing for salvias, but Salvia Tropicolor Claret does this thing. It's so dark and so rich that the undersides of the leaves even have a darker plum tone to them, and then contrasted with the dark green on the top.
yeah.
It's so
We
fun.
oh,
You
yeah, we
go
weren't
ahead.
intentionally catering to the goth gardeners this year, but we've got a lot of options
Yeah,
with our new additions to the catalog.
yeah,
Yeah, it's moody. It's cool. It's great for pollinators. Where can you go wrong?
great.
Mhm. All right. So on the other side of the mood spectrum is the Vibe Ignition Orange. Uh, Once again, it's a salvia. Just put it in your garden. They're perfect. And this one is just this really nice, light, I'd say it's almost like a salmony, corally orange. It's not like a traffic cone. It's just like the perfect little kiss of color.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, and you know these as the hybrid between Greggii and Microphylla, and so they're cute and short and little and airy and so many cute little flowers. Wonderful.
Just wonderful.
Well, so we did grow this for fun for
For fun.
ourselves this in 2026, and Silene, Sabella, Carmine,
For
uh,
mine.
Carmine, the color. It's a double bloom, and it has the fuzzy leaves. They're not sticky, they're just fuzzy and cute. And it does form a little bit of a mat, a little bit of a mounding habit. Um, but Alina, you were saying the flowers combined with the foliage. It's just, yeah.
Pink and green, you can't go wrong. It's like preppy, it's clean, it's cool. It's just a classic color combination in my mind.
Hmm.
They just stand out. It's
Hmm.
great.
And these double blooms are fun. They're just fun.
They're fun. Verbena muffin apricot. Uh, it's this one's a little cutie just from the name alone. Once again, it's a very beautiful, soft orange that is such a good contrast with the green foliage that it's just like, I don't know, it's just perfect.
Hmm. Yeah, it gives
It's
it, we've got a lot of really strong, bold colors in our verbena options, and this is going to be a
That's true.
softer pastel option. So nice. So, on to specialty foliage, again in 4-inch rounds, 10 per flat. New for 2027.
All right, first up from the Charged Up series, we are adding Key Lime Fringe and Prismatic. We've had other Charged Up varieties in our catalog, and we couldn't help but add more. Look at them.
Hmm.
They're cool.
Hmm. Yeah,
Yeah.
prismatic has that mosaic effect too.
Mhm.
And these almost directly replace a couple of the things in our lineup from last year. So we've got everything covered that we usually do, just giving you some different options.
Mhm.
All right, Pinto Planter's Punch. Also a drink, but look, hey, it's a coleus too. Um, whimsical and a great coral color, uh, neat mounding habit, upright mounding, and so it's not going to be crazy big, crazy tall, but really nice, like eye-catching.
All right, Downtown Santa Fe. We love the Downtown series, so once again, we gotta add more. This one is nice, warm, earthy tones with little kisses of lime green in there. So it's really dimensional. It's got those nice serrated leaves. It's an upright habit, so it'll grow. Won't take over. It'll grow.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Oh boy, Coleus skeletal. The name says it all. It reminds me of bonefish.
Mhm.
It's great. It's great. So fun.
Yeah. All right. The Talavera chocolate mint is replacing another coleus that we couldn't get for 2027.
Yeah,
This
I think
one,
it replaces mesmerized chocolate lime,
mesmerized chocolate lime. Thank you, Amy.
but so similar.
So
Super
similar.
similar.
This one is a little bit bigger. Bigger's better.
Hmm.
We
With
love big
nice
plants
broad
here.
leaves. Yeah.
Mhm.
This one I was excited to see. Look at that Terrascape. So great, strong, vigorous series. And
Mhm.
Cosmic Confetti. Awesome name. And then it does look cosmic. It just looks like you're looking at the stars. And I love that. It's a fun effect. Like that's what
It's,
Coleus should be, is something fun and unusual.
yeah, something incredible that makes you look twice.
Mm-hmm.
And this is going to do that for sure.
Indeed.
Ooh. So we wanted to add another Hebe to our catalog, and this one was the cutest. Robin with the little kind of rounded, pointy foliage. It's just a nice silvery green. It's gonna
Mm-hmm.
go great with whatever you put it with.
Yeah, it's a nice little accent plant.
Hmm.
Silver Threads is making a comeback because we like to switch it up, and this one is a nice filler. So silver all around. We've got a bunch of different options of silver throughout the specialty foliage program, and this just has a really nice feathery texture. It does bloom little yellow flowers later in the season too.
I think Ipomia is so cool and so excited to bring our classic lineup back, but we are also adding a variegated Ipomia. And this is going to be fantastic because I like to think of Ipomia as like really supporting the rest of a container. Like it's filling it out. You might not notice it, but this one, you're going to look at it and be like, oh, that's so beautiful.
Yeah.
Just adding more
Has
dimension.
definitely has some interest to it. So
Hmm.
yeah, I just wanted to mention again with the classics, we're gonna keep it generic, and we're gonna
Yes.
cover all of the colors and all of the shapes. We're just gonna keep it generic so that if we need to replace one, we can, and it's not a big deal.
Hmm.
Irazine Blazing Lime. So this one, it's coming back, and because we missed it, so we've got rose and lime, and they've got that nice variegated foliage and great rosy colored stems. Every once in a blue moon, you get this fun experience of having like a split color leaf where it'll be rose on one side and lime on the other, and these are just fun, lots of fun.
Had to bring them back. All right, we're bringing in the green Algerian ivy. It's just a nice, solid green that gets tall. It gets big. It'll it'll grow feet,
Yeah,
and
yeah, it's nice. It covers a lot.
it covers a lot of ground.
Yeah, so it stands alone or it could be used as a filler too.
Yeah.
And so Lotus Amazon Sunset is making a comeback. It's more likely to bloom in the summer. And isn't that like what we want? I know it's in the foliage program because it doesn't, it's not known for those blossoms. It's more used for its foliage and its silver ferny type foliage. But gosh, it's just really unique and interesting to see those parrot's beaks flowers. So this is why we're going back to Amazon Sunset.
Mhm. Bringing back Oxalis Plum Crazy, because how could we not? Just beautiful, dark and light purple. It's it's so it's perfect.
Cute and short and sweet.
Cute and short and sweet.
And Oxalis triangularis making a return. Super awesome houseplant. Lasts for years and years. Could be an heirloom plant if you really wanted to. The tubers multiply slowly, so it's not going to go crazy. You could put it in the ground too. I've seen it used in ground in containers. It's great.
String of turtles. We are bringing string of turtles in because we wanted it. It's cute. It's a cool house plant option. It looks like you have a million turtles spilling out of a basket. What more do you
Mm-hmm.
need?
Mm-hmm. And I know, like, personally, I look at this and I think succulent. So I'm wondering if customers look at it and think succulent, they need sun and they need to be dry. But actually, they do like the dry. They like to dry out in between. But maybe you could already know this, but I didn't know this. That they prefer indirect light, and some morning direct sun is okay, but they actually would prefer shade and indirect light. So there you
I
go.
did not know that.
Hmm, there you go.
Mm.
All right, Rucelia firecracker. We did salmon, like a hot salmon last year. Really great, but we really like that red too. So we're bringing red back. Um, Hummingbird magnet, and then if you did decide you wanted to overwinter this, or have if a customer wanted to it just becomes like a shrub, and it's really neat. It does kind of get woody. The stems are substantial.
Is this one that you would cut back
You could.
and bring it in, or just
I
bring
wouldn't
the?
let it go. I wouldn't not water it and let it go dormant. But you could cut it back and keep it
uh,
like low lit situation. Keep it going.
Right. Santalina Lemon Fizz. This is also something that we custom grew for one of our customers in our 2026 season. And it's, oh, it's cool. It's interesting to look at. It has great texture for touch. It has this nice kind of like spicy scent. So it's a winner all around.
Mm-hmm. Trifolium for green glow. This one is nice. It might be perennial. Um, and it does get white flowers. The interesting thing about this one is it has that light mint green with the darker Kelly green, but then it also has like a burgundy border between the two colors, so that may be varied in the plants. So it could have some extra interest to it.
Mm-hmm.
And then we have one annual grass.
Just one.
Just one, but it's cool.
Yeah, it is. Basket grass, because I'm not confident in my pronunciation skills for the rest of it. So this is a trailing grass with tri-colored foliage. So in this larger photo, you can see the white and the green, but then it also gets these little like kisses of pink on the edges of the leaves. It's really beautiful, and it will spill out of your containers. We live in the right zone where we don't have to worry about it getting away from us. It's just a great option. It likes shade.
Mm-hmm. It would go great if it were planted in the ground too, because it would love to spread around a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and then if it does have the stronger light intensity and situation, it does get those blushes a little bit heavier. So in a more shady area, it's going to have a wider leaf and more white. But then, yeah, it's either way, it's going to be great. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah. On the ground, it will form like kind of like a dense matte texture.
Okay, and here we have border gems, new for 2027. These are sold in flats, and each flat has six packs. And we do ship out with the border gems and the edible programs, the 5x7 color bench cards. So, and no charge. I'm happy to provide those. They come with a little bit of information about each plant and a photo of the fruit or the flower, because usually border gems and the edibles, veggies are all shipped before they're doing anything. It's just foliage. So it's nice to have a visual to see what they look like. And then joining us again this year is Eli. She is our seed grower, so she grows all the a lot of the perennials, a lot of the annuals and border gems, and edibles. So she's here to join us and speak about what we've got new planned.
Yeah, one more thing I would add to Amy's introduction is that we sell these in six packs because a lot of them look good in clumps. Like you don't just want one of these, you want five or six or a clump of them or two clumps of three. It'll look cooler for you and your border. Oh, here comes a cat. Um, and it'll be better for if you're trying to attract pollinators too, if you have little groups of them. So our first renew border gem is a classic old favorite, Edgeratum Blue Horizon. So we brought this back because the High Tide Blue is no longer available, and it's kind of a different. High Tide Blue was really like a almost turned into a shrubby bush, and the Blue Horizon is just a great cut flower, a great in a big swath in the middle of a bed. It does branch, but it also is just a great cut with a lot of color right up there at the top. So it's a classic for a reason. So we're glad to have it back. This is a brand new one. It's a Celosia Shimmer is bred. It's one of those wheat type or plume type celosias. Nice tall plant with a big cut area. And as you can see in the picture, lots of different shades of pastels. It's early, so if you're want to get these into your bouquets, I'm assuming it would dry well too if that's your cut flower thing. Good branching, and it was the fresh cut flower of the year for 2026. So It's something that they bred actually at Johnny's Selected Seed, and they've been working on it for about 10 years to select this color batch out of an old mix of this type of celosia. So okay, Black Forest Ruby. We have been trying to get seed for this for years. I swear it's been about 2 years since Suzanne was like, "Hey, check out this seed grown dahlia. Try to find this seed." And I kept going to like different websites, like, and it'd say available October 2029. No, not 2029, but you know what I mean. Like it'd be like available the next year, available the next spring, and finally it was available earlier this summer. So we grew a little crop of it. It's pretty cool looking, you guys. And I mean, I'm not the biggest dahlia head in the world, but the foliage. It really is as dark as this picture. And it doesn't have like weird green spots or faded spots. It's all that color. Um, because it's seed grown, there's a little bit of variation in the foliage. So some of it is more deeply cut. I'd say of our trial of like 25 plants out there, probably at least two-thirds of them have these really deeply cut, interesting looking foliage, and then a few of them, they're not so deeply incised, and it's just more of a like a soft rounded pattern to the foliage, but they all have that great color and double to semi-double flowers, as you can see in the picture, and they're a nice cherry red. It's not like a warm red, it's not like a crimson, it's a cherry red. So it looks great against the foliage. I mean, doesn't it make you think of Black Forest cake? I think that's what I wrote for the website. And 2 to 3 feet high. Um, and it seems like it's going to have a lot of blooms. Of course, this will be sold green, so or black because of the foliage. But I think it's going to be fun, and it'll be a nice way to get a bunch of dahlias rather than buying them in single pots. So, okay. Okay, we've added some fun new Lizzies like we do every year. I, of course, had to look up what color is Madonna because, of course, I think of, like a Madonna song, like a video from the 80s. And sure, she could have been wearing something in this color. Um, but super double, as you can see, like something fluffy she could have worn in her early days. Super sturdy stems. This says 24 to 30, somewhere in some sign it said 36, but they called it pinkish mauve, which I would go, that's kind of a good 80s color, but look how freaking double that is. So that's Celeb 2 Madonna. Okay, a couple more Lizzies. Um, the Voyage 2, I wanted to call them Voyager 2, like the spacecraft, but it is just Voyage. Um, so that's also tall, nice and double, a little bit of a fringe edge to the petal, which adds even more texture to the doubleness. And just checking my notes here. Um, Also sturdy stems. So I would say the light apricot is a paler, kind of softer, more even color, and the champagne has a little bit of a darker, not quite salmon, but a little bit of a darker edge around the middle to some of the flowers. So I'd say the light apricot is the paler, and then the champagne's a little bit darker, but they're going to have the similar habit because they're both Voyage 2s. Okay, the quest for the white, they call it white, cream colored African marigold. It seems like there was varieties that we had for decades, and then all of a sudden it's a new one every year. So the Lana Lace is going to be a good match for the Taishans. If you've ever gotten our jumbo pots in the summertime that we used to do of the yellow and the orange Taishan marigolds, it's super, super, super double. And it's so double that that's kind of its selling point because it doesn't get wrecked in a rainstorm. The water just kind of rolls off those blossoms because they're so tightly packed together. So it's supposed to be just really sturdy that way. And it's not super tall. Some of our border gems are like 3 feet tall. This is like a foot tall, but it looks like it's going to be a really nice habit. And if you have other dwarf African marigolds, this is going to be a great mix with them. And it's dwarf in terms of height, but not in terms of flower size. These flowers are like 2.5 to 3 inches across. So they're really showy and they look great in a container or near the front of a border. Rudbeckia Sahara was a blast from the past that I think it was Amy's idea to bring it back, and we actually have a little planting of it out back with our vegetable trial garden. So I actually went out this morning and just sort of looked at it again and wrote down some of the things. But what you get is a mixture of different sort of softer hues. There are some of those dark burgundy colors, but there's a lot of that sort of soft yellow, soft melon colored, kind of an antique-y feel to it. They're semi-double. They're not super fluffy, and some are more single, but it isn't. But it's kind of a nice textural mix. Some of them sort of have a ring of different color around the middle, just as you can see in the picture. And I wrote down thigh high. That's about it, so they're a couple feet tall, and it'd be a nice cut and just a mix. They all look good together, and it seems very sturdy out there and, just hanging out in back of the greenhouses without a lot of care. Um, and they seem to be well branched too. So it's nice when you actually have a physical trial you can go out and look at. So I think this was a good choice to bring back the Sahara. And the last new border gem is we just wanted to switch out one of our snapdragons, the tall snaps that we grow, the cut flower snaps. And I forget maybe was this Maddie's idea? Just apple blossom is great, right? But it's pretty soft. It's that creamy white with a little hint of pink on the lip. And this is kind of got a little more pow to it. It's more dramatic. And so it's plum blossom. Maryland is the same series we've been doing. But this is it's going to show up more from a distance. It's maybe going to look good with different colors. And I thought it was really fun too. So I'm kind of excited about it.
Okay, so now we are going to look at our new large annuals for the year. And with us again this year is Gary to talk about the large annuals and our baskets, because he also designs our combinations. Take it away, Gary.
Good afternoon. For our colocassias this year, we switch them out a little bit. There's so many beautiful ones offered that we thought this mojito was really lovely. And from my own growing experiences, I've just found these love the sun. They're perfect for large containers out in the sun, and not so overly needy for water, and I really enjoy them. So I'm kind of happy about this one. That's quite unique. As far as cypress goes this year, we aren't looking for a specific variety of something. We really just wanted to offer a large sized cypress. So this one should get 3 to 5 feet. It's always sort of an issue when we're trying to hunt for these plants, but this one, umbrella, should fill the bill. We haven't done a Mandevilla or Diplodenia for a long time, and I think a number of us saw this sun parasol orange, and we got fired up about it. I don't know. It's orange. What can you say? The cool thing about Diplodenia, they are different than Mandevilla. They are upright, so nice for container mixes. And with bananas this year, because of limited supplies, we're kind of offering 3 types of bananas. So you can pick and choose what variety you like. It just comes down to numbers, and we end up selling a lot of bananas. So we had to pick from a few different sources. This is my most exciting one. This hasn't been available for a number of years. And we did find a supplier of this again, the Xanthosoma lime zinger. I've kept a number of pots alive at home since the last time, which I'm going to say it's been 10 years, but maybe not that long. But another just incredible, super easy to grow, sun loving, and you can get 2, 3 foot, 4 foot leaves on these by August and September. They're just phenomenal. And that beautiful chartreuse, limey green leaf is quite stunning. As far as baskets go, for our single species, last spring, I just did a few. These eye candy begonias are relatively new in the last couple of years, I think. I think 2 years ago we got trials of them. And so last spring I did a few trial baskets of these, and they're beautiful. That dark foliage and really intense color. So we went with Inferno and Sunset. Um, there it is, with that little kind of pink edge on a yellow. But they're just stunning with the dark foliage and filled out baskets quite beautifully. Another really fun thing we're really loving are these Leah Budlias that came out a couple of years ago. And we had raspberry. I think we started out with raspberry, and last year we offered midnight, which was the really deep blue, but we switched that up for the blue this year. I have a plant that I got last spring, a year ago, when we first had them, and I have it in a container, and it's now like a 3-foot bush, visited by butterflies daily. It's on my back patio, and I sit and look at it every day, but super easy to grow. And I overwintered mine. I took the basket, and sunk it in the ground, and it came back beautifully. We had a good snow cover, but it came back beautifully, and I dug it out again and repotted it up. And so I think it's getting so big, I'm going to have to put it in the ground. It'll have to stay somewhere in the ground now, but they're really beautiful and quite upright. I mean, they say, they were made for baskets, and the picture sort of shows this drapey thing, but it's a nice round shaped mounding shape. It's nice. They're really, really fun. Fuchsias are, they're coming and going for our single species. We're always kind of looking, and we do like to try to find ones that are relatively compact just for the shipping quality, so we aren't losing flowers. And we chose this one just because it looks a little tighter and not all over the place. Nice color. Geranium and petunia baskets haven't been the biggest sellers in the last couple of years. And so I think switching out and away from basic red or pink or, kind of straight up basic geranium into this kind of color, I don't know, I think this might help. I do kind of love odd colored geraniums, and this beautiful violet might do the trick. This is really nothing relatively, it's not really new. We've been using the Spectra Impatiens, which I really love because of their like 2 and 3 inch flowers. They're quite beautiful. And the red, I don't know, maybe they offered the red, but this one is deep red. We went with this one this year. So nothing really new, but they're really nice impatiens for a single species. Oh, and we also picked peach bicolor just to change the color up a little bit. I went out on the limb and suggested that we try a blanket petunia. They can be monsters, but we'll have to just get the planting right so we get the size nice for shipping. But this one's kind of fun. It'll look like you have sort of a combination basket, but it's really just the same petunia putting out different colored flowers. And then I think towards the summer it gets to be sort of striped and variated color just on the blossoms. So I don't think we ever grew these before, so it'll be fun to see what they look like.
Okay, so here are the jumbo 6-pack edibles. And they, as along with the border gems, they're sold in the same size. And these are sold for flat 6-packs in a flat.
There's a lot of kales out there whose last name is boar, winter boar and red boar and I don't know, Bory boar. I made that last one up, but there are like 6 of them. They're all the same breeder. It's from the Dutch, I think, breeders Bejo. And this is the newest one from them, and we are trying it this summer because we think it's going to be a cool ornamental as well as a really good edible. So we decided to add it to the edible program for the spring. What the deal with Ruby Boar is, it's a little more compact than your Red Boar, which, is sort of a modern classic, but it's the shorter internodes, so the branches are closer together, so it really fills out, and in less space, you get the same amount of food to eat, basically, is one way to think of it. But yeah, they're really fluffy, and it's not as dark red. It's more like a purple, purple with purple veins. But it looks pretty good out there right now. And just the habit is neat and tidy and not as gangly. So we're also, like I said, we're trying it as an ornamental this fall, but I think it'll be a good edible too. And, I think, has anybody eaten any yet? I imagine it just tastes like kale. Somebody probably should take some home and eat it. So that's Ruby Boar.
All right. So then now we have the 3.5-inch edibles, and for each of these, there's not a lot of changes and just one ad. If you wanted to look at the things that we have removed and any possible substitutions or alternatives, we'll have a list up on our website of suggestions. So take a look at that list too.
Yeah, there's only one new 3.5-inch vegetable, but it looks like a good one. This was recommended by our Lindsay, who has been a farmer for years and years and years, and she said this is her absolute favorite winter squash. So it's an heirloom, Thelma Saunders. People call it the sweet potato squash, but just because of its flavor and its texture. But what you get is this, looks like a buff-colored acorn. It's pretty early, and unlike some acorns, it's a good storage. So she says it's great to grow, it's really productive, and really likes the flavor and texture. So we're like, okay, done. Let's add it.
All right, on to herbs. The herbs are sold in 3.5-inch pots, and there are 12 per flat, sold by the flat. And joining us, we are delighted to have Lindsay joining us. And she was a new face with us last year and returning, and we're grateful to have her and her expertise of growing everything from herbs to veggies to perennials and all around. So welcome, Lindsay.
Hello. So we're going to start with the butterfly pea. And I think that we grew this a few years back for a season, and we are bringing it back because I think it is one of the coolest plants. And it is a vine growing plant, and you can do it in pots or in the ground, but it makes these really beautiful dark blue flowers, and you can make a tea out of it, and it makes the tea turn blue. And then when you add a little lemon, it makes it turn pink. And so it's known to be kind of a calming tea, but it's actually just really exciting to me about like the colors. You can make cocktails out of it. So I think it's a really cool, fun addition to the herbs this year. The lavender La Diva Garnet Rouge is a new Spanish lavender that we're carrying, and I like it because the color goes all the way down into the flower head, and it's got this really beautiful rosy hue to it, and the little flowers on top are really beautiful, and it attracts a lot of bees.
Yeah, and it's going to be loaded. It's going to be loaded with blooms and pollinators.
I think it's a really good one to add to a couple of different Spanish type lavenders because it's got that different color to it. So that next to like a deeper purple would look really neat in a planting.
Definitely. Maybe next to this one.
That's exactly what I was thinking next to this one because the colors are so different, but it's a similar type of lavender. So the Butterfly Garden Plum Perfect is just like little butterflies flying around, those little petals at the top. So that will attract your pollinators, but that color is just so bright and beautiful. So I think it is perfect.
Indeed.
So lovage is another herb that we have grown in the past, and it didn't seem super popular, but we're bringing it back because it should be popular. It is a perennial herb in this area, so it will come back year after year. But it is important for your culinary uses because it has this flavor like celery, but celery will not come back. You have to keep planting it every year. And so you can dry the leaves, use them for soups and stews and salads and anything. You can eat them dried, you can eat them fresh. But the stem also, when it gets bigger, they're hollow and you can use them as stems or straws. And you can use it in like a cocktail. So if you use the butterfly pea to make a blue tea and use the lovage stem for a straw, it's like the coolest local cocktail or tea you can have. And lovage is also, if you go to our staff musings on our website, you can see Babette expressing her love for lovage as well as one of our kind of unsung hero herbs of the year. This is rosemary terentius or terentius. We couldn't really figure out how to pronounce it. What do you think,
Yeah,
Amy?
I think you're right. I think that's correct.
Okay, so I did find out that that word is based off of the Latin word torus, meaning of a bowl. And so I think that that's referring to the size of the leaves and the upright stature of the rosemary. So this is a upright variety that we're replacing our other upright variety with, and we are really hopeful that this will be a really nice, very strong culinary rosemary. It's really known for having really strong flavor. And so I think this would be a really good one to dry because sometimes if you dry rosemary and use it all year long, the flavor gets a little dull. But I think that this one is going to stay really strong. So I'm really hopeful for this one to be like the perfect culinary rosemary.
So it'll have some nice oil retention to it for longer use.
Yeah.
Great.
The sage scarlet pineapple. I love pineapple sage. It is one of my favorite types of sage, honestly. It just like the smell of the pineapple with the mixture of the sage is just like
Hmm.
one of the coolest smells ever. So the more pineapple sage, the better, in my opinion. And this one has these really beautiful red flowers that will flower in the fall time, and it will attract hummingbirds and butterflies, and it's just gorgeous.
Hmm.
This is a Grow Flow lemonade time, and it's to replace our Cascada lemonade time. But this one is basically the same. It also cascades, and so it's a spreading type time, and it's got this really beautiful lemon scent. And I feel like this one compared to the lemon time, it has like a sweeter scent to it. Like it does actually smell like lemonade rather than just lemon. And so I'm a big fan of this type of like spreading time.
Yeah, and that's interesting. So that like they would have maybe different uses too, where this one might be used for more sweet culinary things, and the wider leaf lemon might be used for like more savory dishes.
Yeah, I can see that for sure. And the Summer Dreams Rose Time has kind of like a another different type of a smell to it. Actually, this one, the Summer Dreams uh, varieties, they are known for having a really, really strong fragrance. And so if you have like a scented garden theme, this would have to go in there because it has that very strong scent to it. And unlike other times, it's got a more like rose geranium fragrance.
Yeah, amazing for a sensory garden.
Mm-hmm.
Or even just perfume use if you were to do some of the water, what do you call that? Water
Hydrosol.
There we go. Wouldn't that be
Yeah.
lovely?
Yep.
Ooh.
Yeah, definitely. And the spicy thyme is also in that summer dreams category. And so this one again is also known for having a very strong fragrance to it, but it's more of that like spicy, warm type fragrance. And this one would be better in like very savory foods. But I think the smell itself, and I like it that it says that it's accepting of some foot traffic because I'm kind of wondering if you like walk on it a little bit or like tussle it, if the fragrance just like comes up into the air and
Mm-hmm.
it sounds dreamy.
Yeah. Okay, so here are the perennials. These are all sold in flats of 10 in the 4.5-inch deep quart pots. They are sold by the eaches though, but we do prefer, and especially in the spring, we want to sell them by the flat, so in quantities of 10. First up is Aquilegia Clementine Rose. This is a cute, large flowered spurless double. It faces upwards, kind of unusual for it to be such a large flower. And it is on the shorter side, but decent, like a medium height. And it's very hardy, blooms early spring, can tolerate a little bit of shade. Astrantia cerise button. This is a nice kind of solid color Astrantia, and it is, it has a really nice, neat clumping, mounding habit. So when you look at it standing on its own after it's matured a couple of years, it's really, really tidy and neat looking. So these do also sun and part sun. Baptisia Golden Anniversary. This is kind of an unusual color for Baptisia, and then paired with that really dark purple is so outstanding. A very, I would say renewed, fresh look for your tired winter eyes when that's blooming in the spring is really great. And this is Baptisia Prairie Blues Solar Flare. This one is a nice bicolor too. It's the flowers are gonna start yellow and then mature to that dusky pink orange color. And then it's a nice, another nice medium height shrubby bush habit. Calamintha nebula blue cloud, sorry. This one is interesting because it's fragrant, and of course it's going to attract pollinators. It has those nice little blue flowers, a nice mounding habit. And then Triumphator. So this is a really beautiful white, and they have a little bit of marking on the throats of each of those tiny little flowers. Very long bloom time. I could even see this being great for cut flower arrangements. Clematis, we're changing up our option for the bush clematis. This is China Purple. It's a non-climbing type, so it probably would want a little bit of support, but it's not going to go climbing and twining. So 2 to 3 feet, and the small little but really adorable blue flowers are fragrant, and they bloom late summer. Dianthus First Scent Coral Reef. This one is nice. It's a double, it's a shorty, but super cute, fluffy double, and that is kind of an orange color, but more of a subtle orange with the corally tones and the picoteed white edges. Really nice. Dianthus Kohori Pink. These these dianthuses are really great. They bloom forever. They rebloom later on if you trim them back. They feed beneficial insects. They've got this pollen on them that we actually use these as banker pots in the greenhouses to feed our beneficial minute pirate bugs pollen when there aren't thrips for them to feed upon. So they're beneficial in the garden, and they're great. They're kind of a ground cover type. Dicentra Goldheart we're bringing this one back. We tried that ruby gold and it didn't want to grow very well, so we are going back to Goldheart, which we know grows really, really well. And this is a lovely centerpiece in the spring garden. And then Dicentra Passion Hearts is a fern leaf that we're offering. This is a solid pink, and you know, these bloom nonstop for a very long time in the spring, and that ferny foliage is really fun to see. Digitalis Dotty Peach. So this is a really beautiful Digitalis that we're offering in this pastel color. It's great. So then it'll kind of do an ombre effect as the flowers mature and as they stand in different groupings. That's going to look really, really neat in a mass. And then Aplobium Unforgettable. This is also known as California Fuchsia. It has really attractive silvery green foliage. It's going to be a hummingbird habitat and provide nectar for them. It's upright mounding, blooms late summer, and it is zone 4. So check it out. Epimedium Pink Elf. This is a really cute bicolor and early spring blooming, drought tolerant, doesn't mind shade, zone 5. Eupatorium Jojo. This is a dwarf, although 4 to 5 feet. That's still pretty good height, but not as high or tall as the regular Joe Pieweed. Geranium Midnight Rider. This one's making a comeback. You may know this one with that really fine ferny foliage, and it's a very dark color with the great awesome contrast of those sharply purple violet flowers, and it's a neat little mounding habit. GM Orange Pumpkin. This is a cute frilly double, and the little flowers look like little round pumpkins. So this friend blooms late spring to early summer. Galenia trifolia. This is also known as Bowman's root or Porteranthus. This is a nice white blooming flower, and it has that really neat bushing habit. And it's kind of one of those things that you look at and you're like, ooh, what is that? It's a nice airy addition to the border. New heuchera for the lineup. This is Indian Summer Cherry Berry. And these have like a bronzy reddish tone to them. And cream white flowers will bloom early summer. Heucherella Redstone Falls. This is a really neat trailing habit for this guy. This is like a ground cover trailing heucherella. And I could see this being used in containers or even hanging baskets or in the ground, like lower towards the front of the garden bed in the shade garden. And We do have quite a few hostas, and they have all different colors, shapes, heights, flower colors, and bloom times. So take a look at our website. We'll have a chart, a hosta chart up there where you can see the whole lineup and compare and contrast to make your choices. But these are some renews and some news for this year. So Hosta Age of Gold and Dancing Queen. Hans and Montana Ario Marginata. Humpback Whale and Island Breeze. Seasons in the Sun and Silly String. Terms of Endearment and Time in a Bottle. Touch of Class and When I Dream. All right, and Iris, we are bringing back a new dinner plate because this is a really nice series. We've loved the size of these blooms, and this is Blueberry Pie, giant flowers, blooms early summer, just along with all of your other irises. And then for fun, look at this, Leucanthemum Real Tiny Bubbles. Look at how unusual that flower looks. Is it like, I can't tell, is that a zinnia? Is that a marigold? No, it's actually a leucanthemum. Who knew? But really fluffy, frilly, bubbly flowers on this guy. Nice upright mounding habit. Ligularia Twilight. This is a daisy type Ligularia, and it's got that nice dark olive green black foliage. A little on the medium height, so 2 to 3 feet. And for Mardigan lilies, we're freshening our color options here too. So we're introducing Candy Morning and Guinea Gold and bringing back Alberta Morning. So that is from left to right. Candy Morning, Guinea Gold in the middle, and then Alberta Morning on the right. Monarda Be Mine Lavender. This is our lavender option for Monarda. And this one has very, very good mildew resistance. That's kind of the highlight of this new one. We're really happy with any new improvements on Monarda that are resistant to mildew, of course. Later in the season that becomes an issue. This is a nice compact habit, 15 to 18 inches. So it's going to bloom midsummer, so August, late July, August on. Nepeta Serene Wild Orchid. This is a really beautiful, unusual kind of Nepeta where it's not fully white and it's not fully pink, but it does have nice dark stems in the background of those lighter pink colored flowers. And the habit of this flowers is going to be a little bit looser, and that's going to be a fun, interesting option. Okay, so this is a really delightful penstemon wagon wheel, and this is a nice alpine option for the rock garden. Very low to the ground growing, 2 to 4 inches, tolerant, of course, of hot and dry conditions, and excellent for pollinators. The bees are going to come for this guy. Persicaria Orangefield. That is a really fun new color. I know they usually are red, so this is more on the orangey red side. So that is going to be impressive, and when you see that in mass later in the summer. And it is non-invasive, so I know Persicaria can bring up some red flags, but this one is not. It's going to be neat and tidy. And then Persicaria polymorpha. This is an old classic, so bringing it back, giant Solomon seal. So a nice one to have on the side yard in an area where a shrub or bush type plant can bloom and take over some space, but it does warrant it. It's very beautiful. Polygonum. This is another old classic that we are bringing back. And of course, it does get to a medium height, 2 to 3 feet. And it has those really unusual white and green flowers that hang on the underside in the springtime. And those arching green foliage fronds look great year-round. Rudbeckia suntacular. This is a neat and upright columnar type Rudbeckia, and it is two-toned, so it's got the gold with the nice bronzy brown center, and a really long bloom time. Late summer to fall. Zone 5. Sedum Sunsparkler Sapphire Tuffet. This is a new offering from Sunsparkler. These are that shorter compact type of sedums. So 6 to 8 inches high, mounding with 12 to 18 inches. And Sapphire Tuffet is going to have deep pink flowers blooming in the late fall to summer. Sunsparkler Dazzling Dynamite. This is a nice variegated, another compact option, 6 to 8 inches, and it's that pink and blue, dark green color, and ruby colored flowers bloom in the late summer. And our third sedum new offering this year, Sunsparkler Blue Ox. This one has really large, broad, richly colored purple leaves, weather resistant, so it's going to stand up better to scorching, and it's going to have bright pink flowers late summer, and it is a compact habit. Cisrinkia Moody Blues is making a comeback. This is a cute little miniature iris type flower. It is related to irises, and it has a grass-like foliage, and it has a kind of a tufted clumping habit. And it's a little shorter, but super cute. So keep it up towards the front edge of things, 8 to 12 inches. Stacky's Little Lamb. So this is like a dwarf version of regular lamb's ear, and it's cute all around. So smaller leaves, shorter flowers, but still very sweet, and a great sensory plant for the garden. Veronica Jedi Gem. This is a new Veronica for us. Long bloom time, self-cleaning, and a nice tall height, 28 to 30 inches. So a great late summer bloomer. Natives. For natives, we only have one new offering, and this is blue vervain, so verbena. Blooming now in late August, and it's got these delightful long wispy flower stems and flower spikes of blue verbena type flowers, loved by pollinators. So if they're seeing that up and about with the rest of your fall blooming flowers, they're going to enjoy a little wayside stop there too. Perennial grasses. We don't have any changes, no deletions, no adds. Pretty happy with our lineup. On to perennial ground covers, and ground covers are offered in 6-packs. So there are 6 6-packs by the flat. And this is Campanula Dalmatian Bellflower. So very short, forms a vigorous mat of the tiny little campanula leaves, and then it blooms those small blue bellflowers late spring into early summer. And it's nice and hardy. It's on 4. This is a new Groundcover Phlox Candy Cloud Lavender. It's a really nice soft pink to lavender lilac colored, mildew resistant and fragrant blossoms, blooming late spring. And Sedum Lydium is coming back, and this one is really fun late in the summer and fall. The foliage turns a bright red, and then it gets those little white star-shaped flowers later on in the summer too. And that concludes our new plant slideshow. So again, let us know if there's anything that we can assist you with in your ordering process, or if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to contact us. Thank you.